Hello and welcome to Millbrae's 2018 State of the City Address. My name is Gina Papan and I am humbled by the honor and privilege of serving as your mayor this year. As your mayor, this is my opportunity to tell you about the many accomplishments we have had over the past year. We have been laying the foundation for enduring changes in this city. Whether the changes we seek will be positive and inclusive depends not only on our leaders, but all of us as individuals and what we do. How and if we unite can make all the difference. We must remember that banding together for the best interests of the city is the most important thing we can do. Any problems we have can be solved so long as we pull together as caring citizens. There are encouraging signs of healing right before us. What Abraham Lincoln once said is important even now. This is the time we must engage together in calm and enlarged consideration, ranging far above personal and partisan politics. More than 70 years ago, Millbrae was founded with the ideal of building a community that could flourish and prosper. Since then, our population has tripled, and the Millbrae of today is diverse and thriving as a community, which faces many challenges. Our diversity has come in many forms, in heritage, in culture, in religion, and in ideals. But in Millbrae, it has strengthened us through a wide array of opportunities to interact with each other and the world. It has developed Millbrae into a truly great city, but more work must be done. We must strive every day to build upon our past successes and face our challenges, our ever-changing challenges ahead of us. My roadmap today, I want to report out on three things: our city finances, city services, and the community that makes us special. My first report, our city has a balanced budget. We generate $30 million in revenue and we spend $30 million to operate our city. Having a balanced budget is a big win for us. In part, that success is the result of important gains in our revenue. Our property taxes have increased 5%, keeping in mind the city only receives 16 cents of every property tax dollar. We have experienced a 6% increase in hotel taxes and an 11% increase in sales taxes, but the city only keeps 1% of all sales tax revenue collected. In addition, we have added many revenue enhancements that have bolstered our long-term budget. City staff obtained over $1.2 million in grant funding. We have gained 338 new business licenses, generated $55,000 in income from the short-term rental taxes in the past few months, and we have retained a company to evaluate the creation of a business improvement district in Millbrae to help make our downtown a beautiful and thriving area for all. Over the next few months, the city will work closely with several stakeholder groups, including downtown property owners and business owners. If the BID, as it's called, is right for Millbrae and formed, it will help focus local resources to revitalize the area and spur smart redevelopment. In addition to the BID, we have worked with developers to ensure the redevelopment projects surrounding Millbrae Station continue to move forward as one of the most important redevelopment projects in the nation. Now that the Millbrae Station area transit-oriented developments have been approved as to concepts by the majority of the City Council, we need to work through the details of the projects, the design reviews, and get the community's input. We will ensure the right standards are set and that we get quality design elements that will reflect Millbrae for years to come. Once completed, the Millbrae Station and its transit-oriented development areas will provide an additional estimated 1.6 million square feet of office space, 275,000 square feet of retail space, 1,750 units that people can call home, and it's expected that the Millbrae Station area will bring 4,500 new residents to our city, bringing our population from 23,000 up over 27,500, and create well over 7,000 new jobs. The projects in this area will have a significant impact on our city. We must ensure that they are done right. In addition, we will be working on updating the fee schedule to ensure everyone pays their fair share, and formalizing the downtown El Camino specific area plan, and work with planners and developers in this corridor to ensure that their impact on Millbrae is positive. Apart from balancing our budget, is also ensuring and managing our costs. The city's top priority, the City Council's priority, has been improving our 70-year-old infrastructure. Our streets, our water system, sewers, and stormwater system are all 70 years old. This year, we have spent $4 million on street repairs, and we are committed to spend $36 million over the next 5 years to continue the important work and bringing our streets up to an acceptable level. We completed a new water system design to replace our aging water pipes, which are 70 years old and only have a 50-year lifespan. This is one of the reasons our water bills continue to grow in spite of all the reduced water compensation. Our water system requires a $25 million rehabilitation to ensure its reliability so that we can continue to provide safe water to everyone. Over the past few years, we have also continued our investment to replace broken sewer pipes that led to sewer overflows, a $40 million project, of which we have used $20 million to make repairs. This year, the money was used to replace 5 miles of sewer pipes, 630 laterals, and rehabilitate 138 manholes. I'm pretty sure that doesn't mean we sent them to the Betty Ford Clinic, but they were rehabilitated. All things that were necessary to strengthen and improve our sewer system. Because of our work and investment, we have reduced the number of sewer overflows from 101 a year to just 9 this year, a more than 90% decrease in the number of sewer overflows. In addition, we have made significant headway to fix our stormwater system, which prevents flooding and protects our water quality. This hard work and investment in our infrastructure put us into compliance with the Baykeepers' consent decree. We are no longer under the orders of the Baykeepers, but our work is not done. We will continue to make needed improvements to our stormwater and sewer systems and ensure we do our part to keep Millbrae and the Bay clean. By paying special attention to these smart infrastructure investments, we are saving money, avoiding emergency repairs, and reducing long-term costs. Now, addressing other costs. This past year, there's been much discussion about Millbrae's pension costs and long-term obligations. Like many cities offering pension programs, the cost of post-employment benefits has grown significantly over the last decade. That said, Millbrae's pension obligation of $3.7 million for 2017-2018 is one of the lowest in the state and will continue to be one of the lowest throughout the next 8 years. We did this through strategic planning. By contracting for certain city services, the city has been able to significantly reduce its pension obligations. And we are initiating a trust fund to set aside monies to pay for post-employment benefits in the future. This kind of strategic thinking and foresight will help us deal with this long-term obligation in the future. Report number 2, city services, customer service, city staffing, a team we can all be proud of. I noted the city's expenditures on infrastructure. Our public works team has done an outstanding job this year, and I want to personally thank them for their hard work, much of which goes unseen, as they are fixing our infrastructure and responding all hours, day and night, to emergency repairs, ensuring our streets are accessible, relieving flooding, and so much more. I also want to thank you, the public, for your patience with all the detours and delays caused by the work we have done this past year. We know it's been a burden at times, but it was for important work that has made Millbrae safer and more sustainable. City staffing has been an issue for some time now, but there appears to be a bright light at City Hall now. Last month, we hired Tom Williams as our city manager. Tom comes to Millbrae with extensive experience in city management, urban planning, and capital improvement programs. His more than 30 years of experience and track record for success is an asset for our city. In addition, an added bonus, Tom lives in Millbrae too, so he is invested in seeing our community flourish. Through his leadership this year, he has encouraged and empowered experienced and committed staff, thus improving employee retention and morale. He promoted 2 staff directors to deputy city manager positions, made a long-term superintendent to a deputy public works director, and hired a new recreation director. He is also in the process of recruiting a full-time code enforcement officer. We are thankful and proud of all the city staff and what they have accomplished this year. They have also increased efficiencies and completed important community projects. I mentioned the completion of the Baykeeper's Consent Decree. Through staff's work, we have opened the temporary Millbrae Community Center behind City Hall. They relocated the gazebo to the library property. A ribbon cutting will be held on December 15th, an exciting event. There is new playground equipment was installed at Rotary Park. Additional big belly trash compactors were installed around downtown, reducing trash and keeping staff time down so that we can keep downtown cleaner. They also brought in a new sidewalk sweeper, vacuuming downtown early in the mornings. Staff is also committed to making your customer service experience at City Hall better. This includes creating a more accessible environment by improving ADA accessibility to all city facilities and moving to online registration for recreation facilities and for recreation programs and facility booking. A big part of services in our city depend on ensuring public safety. Years ago, we contracted services with the San Mateo County Sheriff's Department and the Central County Fire Services, saving Millbrae thousands of dollars and providing dedicated first responders. After the shooting incident in our city, we worked closely with the Sheriff's Department. One of the biggest accomplishments this year was the development of a short-term rental ordinance and putting the health and safety of our residents above all else. The Millbrae City Council approved an ordinance that gave law enforcement officers more power to stop unruly short-term rentals and enforce the law. The ordinance we passed respects the fact that landlord entrepreneurs are trying to create extra income for their families, but sets a strong policy that short-term rental permits will be revoked if the community's health, safety, and welfare is at risk. the City Council acted to reassure everyone that Millbrae is a safe place to live. Recently, Millbrae was assigned a new police chief, Captain Paul Kunkel of the San Mateo County Sheriff's Department. The sheriff deputies assigned to the Millbrae Police Bureau are dedicated to serving and protecting Millbrae. Over the past year, their dedication to our city has led to a number of significant decreases in crime. This year, vehicle burglaries have decreased by 25%, residential burglaries by 12%, vehicle thefts decreased by 20%, robberies have decreased by 30%, and assaults have decreased by 76%. Those outstanding results for any local law enforcement agency are amazing. The results that come from concerted efforts by the Sheriff's Department by putting more deputies on the streets and being proactive in engaging our community to holistically protect our community. Now, Central County Fire Services in Millbrae, they continue to save lives each and every day. Last year, they responded to 2,941 service calls. The calls ranged from requests for emergency medical care and transportation to fire suppression and medic support in critical situations. Their services go far beyond emergency responses. One of Central County Fire's core services is fire prevention. We are now in year-round fire season, and it is fire prevention and their teams that stop fires from being created. Teaching residents how to create defensible spaces while inspecting homes and businesses, I want to give special thanks to the men and women of Central County Fire and the Sheriff's Millbrae Police Bureau for keeping our community safe. Report number 3, the community that makes Millbrae special. Community participation has brought us to the point of finalizing draft documents for our general plan, the Downtown El Camino specific plan, and our climate action plan. Community participation in the restoration of the Recreation Center has moved the project to the final stages of design. The design that will serve the current population's needs. Serve as an emergency operations shelter to coordinate rescue services and information in case of a disaster like an earthquake. Providing a center that will be fully sustainable and cost much less to operate and maintain. In the last election cycle, it was clear we needed to educate more voters to get the votes we needed to pass the bond measure. But over 62% of residents voted for the measure, showing a majority of our community strongly support restoring the Recreation Center. The City Council and staff will continue to work toward funding the restoration of this vital community resource so we can bring back the Recreation Center used by many thousands of our residents as soon as possible. The Recreation Center has taken the spotlight from many fronts, but our Recreation Department continues to work hard providing the community with fun year-round activities. This past year, they hosted movies in the park, expanded youth sport programs for elementary children that include flag football and cross country, and expanded sports programs for adults, including volleyball, basketball, and tennis programs. They also worked with the Roller Girls to bring adult roller derby to Millbrae. We also have the Sheriff's Department, lunchtime soccer, and youth golf programs. One important program we cannot forget is the Self-Help for the Elderly program. This program is being expanded to 3 days a week, keeping our elders engaged with one another, getting them out of their houses and providing food for them. Important aspects of our lives we take for granted, but which are so important to their health and quality of life. Our community has come together for all this, in addition to our yearly community events, the Coastal Cleanup, Arbor Day, Millbrae's Art and Wine Festival, the Japanese and Korean cultural festivals, Lunar New Year, the holiday tree lighting, so many programs bringing our city together and making us stronger than ever. In conclusion, as a city council, we are striving to improve our community. We still have much work to do. None of us should ever become complacent in the success that we have had. While we do have our challenges, when we unite, we can all make a difference. Thank you to Millbrae Community Television for working with us to produce this year's State of the City. It is my honor to serve as your mayor. It continues to be my honor to work with the City Council, staff, and you, the residents. Thank you, everyone, for helping to make Millbrae a great city.